Hello students, in this video we are going to solve the textbook exercise for chapter number 11. The chapter name is Transportation in Animals and Plants. Class 7, Subject Science, ncert. So before starting the exercise, let me recall what we had seen in the previous videos of this chapter. So in the chapter we had seen that all organisms need food, water and oxygen for their survival. So we had seen that to transport this different substance in our body, some transportation systems are there like circulatory system, excretory systems in our body which performs the function of this transportation of this different substance. So first in that we had seen about the circulatory system. So in that we had seen that the blood is the fluid which flows in the blood vessels, and the blood that circulates in the body, it distributes food and oxygen to the different cells of the body. Then we had seen that this carries waste from different parts of the body and transport them to the organs of excretory system for the excretion. Then we had seen that the blood consists of plasma, RBC that means red blood cells, WBC that means white blood cells, and platelets. The next we had seen the red color of the blood is due to the presence of red pigment which is known as the hemoglobin. And we had seen also the function of these different blood cells in our body. In that we had seen that the RBC, in that the hemoglobin is present which combines with the oxygen and it transports the oxygen to the different parts of our body. Then we had seen the function of WBC, that is white blood cell, that this kind of cells fight against the germs which are entering in our body. And at the end of the blood cells we had seen about platelets, that it helps in the clotting of the blood. So this is the functions of different blood cells. Then after we had seen about blood vessels, in which first one we had seen arteries. So arteries carries blood from the heart to the all parts of the bodies, and another type of blood vessel, that is veins, which carries blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. The another thin tubes are also there, or you can say thin blood vessels are also there, which is known as the capillaries. The arteries after reaching the tissues, it is further divided into the small tubes which is known as the capillaries. And again after supplying oxygen to these cells, it collects the carbon dioxide from the cells, and again it's join or combine and it again form the veins. So that is known as the capillaries, which is also blood vessels in our body. Then we had seen another part of the circulatory system, that is heart. So the heart is an organ which beats continuously to act as a pump for the transport of blood. And the human heart is 4-chambered, and the size of our fist is the size approximately the size of our heart. And its location is the chest cavity. It is present in the chest cavity of the body. Then we had seen about heart that the upper chambers of the heart are called atria and the lower chambers are known as the ventricles. Then after we had seen that the right chambers of the heart carries deoxygenated blood, that means blood which is rich in carbon dioxide, and left chambers carry oxygenated blood, that means the blood which is rich in oxygen. Then after we had seen how to measure the heartbeat. So stethoscope is a device to amplify the sound of the heart, and doctors can get clue about the condition of patient's heart by listening the sound of heart through the stethoscope. And we had also seen what is the normal heartbeats of an adult person. So the human heart of a healthy adult person beats about 70 to 80 times in a minute. And we had also seen that the process of removal of waste produced in the cells of the animals is called excretion. Then after we had seen different parts of the excretory system. So kidneys, ureters, urinary bladders and urethra are organs of excretory system in humans which performs together for the process of excretion. In that we had seen that the kidneys filter the blood and produce urine, and the major excretory waste in urine is urea. Then after we had seen about different animals, what is their excretory waste. So fishes excreting a major amount of waste in the form of ammonia, whereas birds, lizards and snakes, they are removing the waste in the form of uric acid, and humans are throwing out the waste, or they are excreting the waste in the form of urea. So this one we had seen about transportation in animals. Then after next we had seen about transportation of different substances in plants. So in that we had seen that in plants, xylem and phloem are vascular tissues for transport of substance. The xylem transports water and nutrients which is absorbed by roots to the different parts of the plants. And phloem transports the food which is synthesized in the leaves to the all different parts of the plants. Then after we had seen about the transpiration process. So in that we had seen that transpiration is the process of removal of water vapor through stomata, that means small tiny pores which is present on the surface of the leaves. And this transpiration generate a force which pulls up the water which is absorbed by the roots from the soil to reach the stem and leaves of the tall trees. So this is the purpose of the transpiration process in the plants. So these are the things we had seen in the chapter. So now let me start the exercise of this chapter. This exercise you have to write in your notebook. So in the textbook exercise, first question is match the following. In the column 1, stomata, xylem, root hairs and phloem is given to you. In the column B, the functions of these different you can say organs or different parts of the plant is given to you. So you have to match this correct part with its function. So let me start with the stomata. So what is the function of stomata? So it is used for the transpiration process. So with the number 1, your answer is transpiration. Next is xylem. So it transports the water in the plants. So with that your correct answer is option D. Next one is root hairs. So the function of root hairs is to absorb the water. So absorption of water is the correct answer for root hairs. Last one is phloem. So the phloem, the function of phloem is to transport the food. So your answer is transport of food. So these are the correct answer for your matching. Here again the answers are given to you. Stomata transpiration, xylem transport of water, root hairs absorption of water, and phloem that is transport of food. Now next question is question number 2. Fill in the blanks. In that first one is the blood from the heart is transported to all parts of the body by the blank. So your answer is arteries. The blood from the heart is transported to all parts of the body by the arteries. Next is hemoglobin is present in blank cells. So hemoglobin is present in red blood cells. So here your answer is red blood. Next, third number, arteries and veins are joined by a network of blank. So here your answer is capillaries. The arteries and veins are joined by a network which is known as the capillaries. Next, fourth number is the rhythmic expansion and contraction of the heart is called blank. So it is known as the heartbeat. The rhythmic contraction and expansion of the heart is known as the heartbeat. Next, fifth number, the main excretory product in human being is dash. So in the human being, the main excretory waste, or you can say main excretory product is urea. So here your answer is urea. Next is sweat contains water and blank. So sweat contains water and salt. So here your answer is salt. Next, seventh number, kidneys eliminate the waste materials in the liquid form called blank. Eliminate, that means to remove. So the kidneys remove the waste material in the liquid form which is known as the urine. So here your answer is urine. Next is 8 number, water reaches great heights in the trees because of suction pull caused by blank. So here your answer is transpiration. In the plants, the water reaches to the great heights because of the suction pull which is caused by the transpiration process in the plants. So your answer is transpiration. So here your question number 2 gets over. Now next is question number 3. That is, choose the correct option. The first MCQ is, in plants water is transported through, the options are xylem, phloem, stomata and root hair. So here your answer is option number 1, that is xylem, which we had already seen in the matching, that in plants water is transported through the vascular tissue which is known as the xylem. Next is second number, water absorption through roots can be increased by keeping the plants dash. So the options are in the shade, in dim light, under the fan or covered with a polythene bag. So here your answer is option number 3, that is under the fan. If we are keeping the plant under the fan, then the water absorption through the roots will increase because of the plants, the transpiration process or the evaporation of the water into the water vapor, it will speeds up, and because of that the plant require more amount of water, so the roots of the plants will absorb more amount of water. So here your answer is under the fan. So here your question number 3 gets over. The answers are given to you that in plants, water transported through xylem and water absorption through roots can be increased by keeping the plants under the fan. Now next question is question number 4. Why is transport of materials necessary in plant or in an animal? Why the transportation of these different materials is necessary in plant or in animal? So the cells of different organs of plants and animals need various necessary substances to carry out many metabolic activities, and different types of waste products are created during these metabolic activities. Very long sentence. So the cells of different organs in our body as well as in animals and in plants, they carried out various activities which is known as the metabolic activities. Metabolic activities, that means the kind of activities which are necessary to sustain our life or to maintain our life, like growth of our body, then after excretion, then after growing of nucleic acid, lipids. So these all are known as the metabolic activities. So to carry out this different kind of function in our body, it is necessary, all the cells require the different substance like food, water, oxygen. Then after, during these metabolic activities also, some of the waste products are also produced in these cells like carbon dioxide. Then after, some of the undigested food are also there in our body. So this kind of materials or substances are known as the waste products. So to transport of this material is necessary to supply the required substance and to remove the waste products. So that's why the transportation in animals and plants is necessary to supply the useful substance which is necessary for our body, and to remove the waste substance or waste products which is harmful for our body. So that's why the transportation in a body of the animals and plant is required. Next is fifth number. What will happen if there are no platelets in the blood? So platelets are responsible for clotting of blood, that we know, and if there are no platelets, the blood would not clot in case of an injury, and this will lead to excess blood loss and finally in the death of the person. We know that while getting the injury or while getting the cut on our body, to clot or to make a thin layer on that cut, the platelets are very important. So if the platelets are not there in the blood, then the clotting will not be there on an injury, and that will lead to the excess loss of the blood from a person's body, and at the end that will cause or that will result in the death of that person. So that's why the platelets is very necessary in the blood. Next is question number 6. What are stomata and give two functions of stomata? So the numerous pores, or you can say tiny holes or tiny pores under the surface of the leaf are known as the stomata, or are called stomata. The tiny pores which are present on the leaves is known as the stomata, and transpiration of and exchange of gases, that is carbon dioxide and oxygen, are the main functions of the stomata. That means transpiration, that means the removal of water in the form of vapor. So this one is the first function of stomata, that is transpiration. And next one is exchange of gases, that means to take in the carbon dioxide and to give out the oxygen. So the exchange of the gases also take place through this stomata. So this one is also the function of stomata. Now next question is question number 7. Does transpiration serve any useful function in the plants? Explain. What is the purpose of transpiration in the plants? So transpiration serves very important function in the plants. Transpiration creates the transpiration pool, which is responsible for the rise of water to great heights in the tall plants and the other trees. We know that in tall plants or in tall trees, it should be necessary to reach the water up to the great height. So this transpiration process, it performs very important functions in the plants. Because of this process, the suction pool or transpiration pool is created, and because of the different parts, the water can reach to the different parts of the plants, which is absorbed by the roots. So this is very important process in the plants to reach or for the transportation of water in the different parts of the plants from the roots. Next is question number 8. What are the components of blood? What are the different components of the blood? So here the components of the blood is given to you. If this question is asked in 1 marks, then you have to write only the name of those components, and if it is asked into the 2 marks, then you have to write about detail like what here given to you. So the blood is a liquid which has cells of various kinds, which is suspended in the liquid, and main components of bloods are given to you here. First one in that is plasma, the fluid part, or you can say the liquid part of the blood, which is known as the plasma. Next is RBC. 3 different types of blood cells are there, which are suspended in the, or you can say which are floating in the liquid or fluid. So the first one in that is RBC, that means red blood cell. So the one type of cell are the red blood cells, which contains a red pigment, which is also known as the hemoglobin. Next one is WBC, that is white blood cells. So the blood also has white blood cells which fight against the germs that may enter our body. So that is the another type of blood cell. And last one is platelets. So the clotting of blood is caused by the another type of cells in the blood, which is known as the platelets. So the function of this platelet is to clot the blood. So these are the different components of the blood. Next question is question number 9. Why is blood needed by all the parts of the body? Why it is necessary to reach the blood to the it is necessary to reach the blood to the different parts of the body and each and every cell of the body. So the blood transports the substance like digested food from the small intestine to the other parts of the body. Then after, it also carries the oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body. It also transports the waste for removal from the body. So it acts as the carrier of the various substance which carries the other substance with them. Like they are transporting the digested food from small intestine to rest of the body parts. Then after, the oxygen from lungs to the rest of the body parts, and it collects also the waste which is produced in the cell processes. So it collects this waste and it will send or it transport it for the removal from the body. So it is working as the carrier which carries or a medium which carries all these substance. So every part of the body needs certain substance to perform its function. Each and every part of our body are performing some kind of various functions. So to perform these functions, they require this different substance, and additionally every parts create some waste products for removal. So blood is needed by all parts of the body so that various substance can be supplied to them and waste can be removed from them. So to supply the various substance and to collect, or you can say to remove the waste substance from that body parts, the blood, it is necessary that blood is reach to the each and every part of the body. Now next is question number 10. What makes the blood look red? Why the blood looks red in color? So the presence of hemoglobin makes blood appear red. Because of the hemoglobin which is present in the blood, it looks red because the hemoglobin has the red pigment. Next is describe the function of the heart. What is the function of the heart? So the heart is an organ which beats continuously to act as a pump for transport of blood, which carries the other substances with it. So heart is an organ, as we know, it beats continuously throughout our life as the pump. It's like a unstoppable pump, and it is working for the transport of blood, and this blood carries the different substance with it. So to reach the blood into the different parts of the body, the heart pumps this blood. So the heart pumps the deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation, or you can say the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide. So to reach such kind of blood to the lungs, or to send such kind of blood to the lungs, and again in the lungs to remove this carbon dioxide is removed, and then after oxygen is combined with the blood. So to receive this oxygenated bloods from the lungs, it also pumps, and it pumps the oxygenated blood to different parts of the body, and then after it sends this oxygenated blood or blood which is rich in oxygen to the different parts of the body. So this is the function of blood. Here the diagram of blood is heart is shown to you. You have to prepare this diagram. This diagram only can be asked to you for the 2 marks, that draw a level diagram of the human heart. So here you can see the main vein is there, which is known as the vena cava. Then after main arteries is shown to you here, that is aorta. Then after right part here it is shown to you, that is right atrium and right ventricle. Between that, this one is the partition which separates the 2 different halves of the heart. Here this pulmonary vein is shown to you. Then after left atrium and left ventricle is also shown to you. This one is the pulmonary artery. So these are the different parts of the heart. Next question is question number 12. So question number 12 is why it is necessary to excrete waste products. Why we are excreting the waste products? So when our cell performs their functions, certain waste products are released, and these are toxic for our body, so hence need to be removed from the body. We know that when our cells are performing these kind of functions, certain amount of waste products are also producing during these life processes, and these waste products are harmful for our body. So it is necessary to remove such kind of toxic waste or toxic substance from our body. So to remove such kind of substance, excretion is necessary, or it is necessary to excrete this kind of waste products like ammonia, uric acid, urea. So these are the some of kind of the toxic substance which are produced in the body. So this is excretion. Next is 13th number. Draw a level diagram, or draw a diagram of the human excretory system and label the various part of this diagram. So here you can see the diagram. Here the kidneys are shown to you. This blue is the vein of the body. Then after red one is artery. This one is the ureter, which is connected to the to the kidneys and urinary bladders. This one is the like the muscular bag. Then after its tube is this muscular tube is known as the urethra, and last one is the urinary opening. We had seen that the blood reaches to this kidney through the veins and arteries from the body in our body. So in the kidneys, the useful substance is absorbed by the blood, and unuseful substance, that means the waste, is which is dissolved in water. It went to the urinary bladder through these ureters, or you can say through these pipes, which are known as the ureters. Then after reaching this urinary bladder, this liquid, or you can say the waste products which is dissolved in the water, is stored in this urinary bladder. And then after, from the urinary bladder, it will went into the muscular tube like structure which is known as the urethra. And through the urethra, here you can see that by the urinary opening, this waste product is removed from our body. So this is how the excretory system works in our body. So you have to draw this diagram and you have to label this diagram. So here our exercise gets over for this chapter. In the next video we will see the next chapter, that is chapter number 12. You have to write this exercise in your notebook, and then after you have to also write the extra exercise in your notebook, and the PDFs are there in your study material. Thank you.